10,000 fearless on the move. Let's go.
Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punchbowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. This is it. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields are waiting the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. This is it. Sip. Injustice, we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. This is it. Sip. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. In Mississippi, Mississippi. 10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, we are back live at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. I am your host and brother, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. Please allow me to begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We bear witness to the oneness of God, to the oneness of his prophets, and to the oneness of the scriptures that were revealed through them to the whole of humanity. We bear witness that there is but one God, regardless to the name, land, or language one would choose to apply. We call him by the name Allah, and that simply means all of the names or attributes of God encompassed in that one name. And we do not call him that to dismiss any other name by which the divine creator is known by people of other faith communities. Please allow me to greet you with the greeting words of peace. In the Semitic language of all of the prophets, they said it just like this: Assalamu alaikum. And those words simply mean, may peace be unto you. Welcome once again to another edition, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you all for tuning in. I see you're coming on to the podcast and to the broadcast for tonight. We definitely have a good program prepared for you. We want to have a conversation with a brother that's out there doing good work. We always try to pay attention on as many fronts as possible, all the way from every area of the struggle where our people are fighting for the cause of justice, at the street level, at the household level, at the school board meeting, at the city council, the alderman meeting. We're fighting police departments. We're fighting rogue police chiefs and sheriffs and officers and rogue politicians. There is need in every facet, in every corner of our communities where we are being marginalized, set upon, and oppressed. And I know some people take umbrage with that word. They don't feel like they're oppressed. The only reason you may not feel that way is because one of two things. You're either asleep or you're dead. Not physically dead, but mentally dead. So tonight we're going to be having a conversation with our brother Kirk Muhammad about his Love First initiative and reentry. And, of course, the gone but not forgotten. And we're also going to ask him about what is this Act 539 of 2017 and what's going on with getting that amended. But before we get to that, we always want to get to our axioms to get our program started. We use these, brothers and sisters, just for us to keep in mind. I don't ever want us to forget or lose sight of the fact that our narratives, the narratives of our lives, even the narratives of our struggle, is always under threat of being commandeered by somebody or some entity or organization that do not have the best interest of our people at heart. One of the most recent examples of that is the Black Lives Matter movement. There are those who got at the head of that, although the concept was a beautiful concept. And just like any other movement that black people have had, under the J. Edgar Hoover Counterintelligence Program, now called Homeland Security and National Security Agency, same objectives are found within those entities. It has been to disrupt and misdirect, if you will, and it's written in the Counterintelligence Program what their objectives was, essentially to make any movement among our people designed for us to throw off the yoke of tyranny and oppression and be a threat to their ability to control every facet of our lives is to make that movement, that organization, and those endeavors non-threatening, make them benign to their attempt to maintain their control over our life outcomes and our daily life affairs. So, starting with the first one from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he said, "He who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes for you the circumference of your activity." Second one I like to use is a slave. A slave is one whose power and authority is ruled over by another and whose sphere of freedom is limited according to the wishes of his master. And the third I like to use is when you see men fall, don't laugh, learn, because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at someone else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you're laughing and opening a way up for your own demise when you do that, because to laugh and not learn, to make a mockery and not to understand, is to make the same mistake yourself. So those are instructive. Keep those in mind. I always use them in every program because that should be foremost in our thinking as we struggle and as we seek to ascend from the condition that we find ourselves in today. It's about 10 minutes after, and about the next few minutes, we're going to have our brother William on, William Muhammad. He's going to be coming to us with the Farm Report. But before he comes on, I am going to go to what we always go to at about this time in the program. We got a new segment that we're going to be introducing that's going to be a constant in our program. And when we get to it, you'll know what it is. But until we get to it, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be back in a few minutes after our commercial messages. Y'all stand by. We'll be right back.
Taste the difference. Taste supreme.
Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme Spring Water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water, 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
Shake's Famous Seasonings. Flavors for every occasion. Want to add a touch of authentic flavor to any dish? Searching for a unique range of seasonings that always put great taste on the menu? Welcome to Shake's Famous Seasonings. Whether you're a professional chef, passionate home cook, or a complete beginner in the kitchen, taste and flavor should always be on the menu. It's why Master Chef Rashid Muhammad has combined more than 30 years in the kitchen with a passion for mouth-watering flavors to create a range of seasonings unlike any other. Always gluten-free, so you can enjoy great taste exactly how nature intended. Versatile flavors that work with fresh fish, chicken, or vegetables from the very first bite. Authentic cooking experience that adds something special to any occasion. Versatile seasonings that are perfect for baking, frying, grilling, and plenty of tasting. Ready for real authentic flavor? When it's time to see just how delicious seasoned foods can be, why wait? With the click of a button, you can have 30 years of passion for food sent direct to your door. Just what you need to add flavors to every occasion and create meals that you'll always want to eat twice.
Place your order at sfseasonings.com. That's sfseasonings.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. Theurbanindulgence.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, we're back live here at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Once again, I am your brother and host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad. And it is about that time for us to hear from our brother, William Muhammad. Let me see how he's going to call in today. Let me see where you're at, brother William. Okay, he's going to give me a direct call to the direct line. I see all of you are coming on. Welcome. Thank you all for being on. I see your Sister Bree and Sister Marissa and others that are on the webpage as well as the app itself. We certainly appreciate your continued support and listenership to this important podcast where we give information by God's grace, and it is at least our intent and our objective to make it a platform and launching pad for us to get actively involved in the issues and concerns that are happening in our community, even while the distractions that are being used to really distract us. We think they're important. We think what's going on with the WNBA and all of the hype around the new rookies, yeah, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. No shade whatsoever. But brothers and sisters, there's some serious stuff going on in our communities that are far more important than people throwing a ball through a hoop. I watch basketball just like anyone else. Watch football too. But there's something called prioritizing and putting what's important first. Okay? So and those things are not only used as entertainment, they are used to distract and to divert attention away from the real issues. That's what was done in the Roman Empire. When those who were ruling saw that the kingdom was troubled and that it was on its way out, it was falling, there was a crack or a chink in the armor, the political, economic armor of the Roman Empire, they began to entertain the people with what they called bread and circus. So we got our brother William Muhammad on live here. We're ready to hear from him. Assalamu alaikum, sir, brother William. I'm doing just fine, brother. Hold on a second. Let me get you on. Assalamu alaikum. There he is. How you doing, sir?
Fine, by Allah's grace. How you doing?
Man, I'm on top of the world trying to stay there, trying to stay in the fight. And until breath leaves this body, brother, I'm going to be found in the fight, doing what I can while I'm here, while I'm running my leg of the race to make a good mark by God's grace in the struggle for our liberation. What you got for us, brother? What's going on the farm?
Yes, sir. I'm going to start here with the local farm, Kingdom Farms here in the state. Looks like, actually, I'm on a call right now, the conference call, the one that we do every week. But the brother was just informing us that maybe moving up a couple of days, I think it's supposed to be this Wednesday, we're going to start with the first harvest. And what's on the harvest list is onions, string beans, yellow squash and zucchini squash, cucumbers, different types of peppers, tomatoes, and cabbage.
Yes,
and they're going to start a canning program, and the first vegetable to be canned is going to be the green beans, and then they're looking at the first city they're going to start the distribution in is in Jackson, and the second city is supposed to be Holly Springs and possibly Tupelo after that.
Yes, sir.
So we're getting ready to start a distribution program. It's going to be something similar to the staple goods.
Yes, sir.
Program, here locally in the state. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it's formed co-op. We have a co-op program that we're trying to get started. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. As a matter of fact, brother, just before I came home and I got word from Chulahoma's Garden and our dear brother Tony Jones and his wife, Sister Dolores, they had started harvesting today. Brother sent me some beautiful pictures of yellow squash. So I'm going to try to make it my business to get down there this weekend, man, and get me some of those produce. We want to make sure that our people are made aware so they can get down. Because what is the importance, Brother Corey? This is a question for you, brother, that I just want you to answer. Why is it important that our people grow food, man, especially in this hour, and begin to connect ourselves and establish a network of food growers?
Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as well as his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they have always stressed the importance of us, actually just getting our mouth out of our enemy's kitchen.
Come on now.
And we know that according to the evidence that is documented by the enemy himself, they are putting things in the food that is absolutely no good. GMO, spraying chemicals and poisons in the food to make it ripen faster. They pick it before it's ripe, then they spray a chemical on it to make it get ripe.
Yeah.
And the means, even the sanitation methods that they're using is not real sanitation.
Yes, sir.
They allow them to put so much poisons on the food and then lie about it. For instance, a lot of the food that is supposedly sold in the grocery stores that is marked as organic, actually is not even organic.
That's right.
So these are just some of the things. Also, we have to start depending on other people to feed us. So the importance of having our own land. In order for us to be a respected and a respectable people, we really need to start feeding ourselves. And when you have, from the farm, you have other industries and businesses as well.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right, brother. And I ask you that question, brother, because, in the struggle for liberation, it's the enemy weaponizes everything that he can to prosecute, essentially making war on us. And one of the first things in warfare that the enemy attacks, he attacks that which sustains a people, a nation. And one of the primaries that sustain you is food. Food. Right. He attacks your food. He attacks your water. And he destroys your libraries or the narrative of your lives so you can't pass it on to the next generation that they may keep the struggle or the war going. So we have to understand this in its deepest sense. And that's why the unity among us is so very, very important, that we do what we can, brother, to begin to make our people aware of what's happening with the food. Anything else you got for us, brother, before you go?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say that, I came across a report, which we already knew that this was happening, but they are actually going to increase their effort to stop farming, period.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, along with the World Bank, they're actually trying to pass a law that will outlaw farming, and what they're going to do, they're going to have lab-grown food that is not even real food. Of course, we already know that they were trying to do this, but it looks like they're gaining momentum. That's why you see all the farmers in Europe, in Western Europe, staging protests all across Europe. They're trying to do the same thing here. Right. So, they have one of the sisters on the call. She stated that when she called the light company about a light that was out in her yard, they actually told her what all she had back there, based on the fact that the light system that they replaced it with, they have cameras in them, and they're also using satellite, live satellite imaging. They're using drones. I'm getting reports about that too. So for the people who are growing food, this is literally warfare.
Yes, sir. It's been warfare, brother. As a matter of fact, I was just responding to one of our fellow comrades in the struggle for liberation that, our enemies have been at war with us for the past 465 plus years since we've been in America. It's just that we haven't come to the realization or arise, not enough of us, I should say, have come up in consciousness to realize that a war is being prosecuted against us, and we must awaken and participate in the war that's been going on now for over 465 plus years against black folks in America. So, Brother William, man, we appreciate and thank you for giving us the report, the farm report. And, of course, this platform is always open to you, brother, and God willing, we'll hear from you again next week. All right, sir? Uh-oh, did I lose him? Think I may have lost him. He did say he was on a call. Yeah, matter of fact, I did lose him. He said he was on a call, so we appreciate Brother William. He's diligent about farming. And brothers and sisters, farming is important. As we just stated, it is one of the first things that comes under attack in a situation where war is concerned. We're going to move on to our next segment, and this is going to be a new segment. This is our final call segment for tonight. All right? So we're going to go into the final call news, and we're going to read something to you or share something with you that's directly related to what we just talked about with farming. In about 6 minutes from now, our brother Kurt Muhammad will be coming on. Let me look in the queue and see. There he is. I'm going to go on and pull him in. It is 6:25. I just sent him notice to go ahead, and there he is. And just stand by, Brother Kirk. We'll be with you right at 7:30. I'm so happy. I'm going to applaud him right now. Brother's doing good work. And there are those that really appreciate what he's doing. And I'm prayerful that God will bless Brother to keep doing the great work he's doing. But brothers and sisters, in this issue, the current issue of the final call on page 4, you will find health risk. This is the article. It's entitled Health Risk of Ultra-Pasteurized or Ultra-Processed, foods Study bears witness to how to eat to live. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has been teaching us how to eat to live for decades, for over 60 years. He's been trying to get black people to understand the importance of eating to live, not eat to get full, although that is a result of eating, but eat to live. Listen at what he writes, or what's written in the article. The article is by our sister, one of our national correspondents, Sister Charlene Muhammad. Make sure you get that final call now, because we're going to be emphasizing, we're going to have a final call segment every broadcast just to share with you the importance of having this newspaper. So this week, we're going to talk about the health risks of eating ultra-processed foods. Our sister writes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his life-saving 2-volume book, How to Eat to Live, from God in person, Master Fard Muhammad, has for more than 50 years been teaching the benefits of eating natural foods at the proper times for prolonged life and good health. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us a method of how to eat to live. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated in an article he wrote titled, The War Against Obesity, Fat. He wrote, quote, the scholars and scientists of nutrition are now bearing witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was far ahead of the entire world of medical science on proper diet and eating habits, 1 meal a day. The minister wrote in part 1 of a 1991 series published in the Final Call. A new study indicating that ultra-processed foods are linked to cognitive decline and stroke with elevated risks in black people, joins those bearing witness to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's divine dietary guidance. See, and I'm going to stop right there for just a second. Got 3 more minutes before we bring Brother Kirk in. See, all of these new things, this intermittent fasting and the keto diet, all of that is based on how to eat to live, if you would do your research. I've done it, done several presentations. The keto diet, why they call it keto, comes from the word ketosis. Ketosis is a process that the body undergoes at about the 18-hour mark of fasting. The body is free to begin to rid itself of the free radicals in the body. In other words, your body begins to take out the trash. But because the enemy taught us to eat 3 squares a day, we eat 3 squares. Notice nothing in the universe is square. Everything is round. Isn't that interesting? But that's neither here nor there for right now. The article continues. She said, their study associations between ultra-processed food consumption and adverse brain health outcomes, published May 22nd of this year in the Neurology Journal, found a 10% increase in relative intake of ultra-processed foods was associated with higher risk of cognitive impairment and intake of unprocessed or minimally processed foods with lower risk of cognitive impairment. The researchers also found that eating more minimally processed or unprocessed foods was associated with commensurate improvements in brain health and reductions in serious neurological outcomes. One of the main things that black people suffer from, the article says, in particular, is diabetes, cancer. And you see those 2 diseases are at pandemic levels in the black community. The article continues, according to the researchers, ultra-processed foods include packaged baked goods and snacks, frizzy drinks, sugary cereals, ready meals containing food additives, dehydrated vegetable soups, and pre- or reconstituted meat and fish products. It says, while our study clearly sounds a warning, it also provides hope that there are things we can do as individuals and which policymakers can do on a national scale to reduce UPFs, meaning ultra-processed foods, from our daily diets. This was a comment made by W. Taylor Kimberly, medical doctor, PhD. She's the chief of the Division of Neurocritical Care at Massachusetts General Hospital. So there you have it. That's the segment, the final call segment for this week, and it is 7:30 on the dot. And you know who we about to bring in. We're going to bring in our guest for tonight, and we thank God for bringing him in, and we're going to unmute him. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Kirk.
Wa alaikum salam, my dear brother.
Man, let's give him a round of applause. But there he is. Praise be to Allah. Brother Kirk, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine, Brother Shaheed. What about yourself, dear brother?
Man, I'm trying to connect these moving dots and keep it in the middle of the road, brother, staying on Siratul Mustaqim. But brother, look, man, I watched your interview with our brother and friend in the student ministry, prison reform in particular, as well as I'm in the prison reform ministry, been in it for nearly 30 years, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And when you called me the other day about what you're going to be having in September, is it? Or sometime later this year, I know.
October.
It's in October. Oh, no, I thought it was September.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And the thought came to me. I said, yeah, that's right. I've been intending to ask brother to be a guest on our program. So first of all, brother, thank you for accepting our humble invitation to come be with us this evening. So tonight, brothers and sisters, we're going to be talking with Brother Kirk Muhammad about his Love First Initiative and Reentry program and Gone But Not Forgotten. Also, we're going to be talking about Act 539 of 2017. So, Brother Kirk, to start us off, man, please introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself to the listening audience.
Well, my brother, as you said, I'm Brother Kirk Muhammad here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and the surrounding areas, dealing with Arkansas. And I've been actually pushing this nonprofit ever since 2016. It started out being Love First Initiative because I was just dealing with troubled youth, right? I had been out of the institution for 11 years. And I went back in, Brother Shaheed, and as you know what the institution is like on the inside, I went back in and I seen brothers who had been there I started out with in 1992. And be mindful, I had been out at this time when I went back in 11 years.
Wow.
Right? I did 14 years in and had been out for 11 years. That means that those brothers that I went back in that I started out with who were still there had spent 25 years in the institution.
That's a lifetime.
Right. So that at that moment, man, I mean, when I say good brothers, I mean good brothers. I mean brothers who can get out tomorrow and never look back at that institution, other than to help some other brother get out of that institution. So I needed to do something. So that's when I added reentry to Love First Initiative and reentry. And that's when I added that to it because I know I needed to do something to help those brothers get out of the institution. So
yes, sir.
That's how I got into that, dear brother.
Yes, sir. And for those, I'll add this little caveat. Most of our people may not pick up on the fact that the mass incarceration of black men in particular is a military move. That's depleting the troops on the street. And the ones that they can't lock up, they mess up with degenerate culture and drugs and lack of opportunity, which feeds to crime. But anyway.
Absolutely.
So what is Gone But Not Forgotten, brother? So Love First Initiative is, and Reentry is your 501c3. That you've been running. Right,
absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely. And that is my 501c3. And Gone But Never Forgotten is that's what I titled the movement, right? Okay. When I told the brothers at Vaughan Unit, I said, brothers, I don't know what I'm going to do when I leave here, but I'm going to do something to help, right?
Right.
So I realized that brothers have been down there for 25, 30 years, man, and the gap that developed between them and their loved ones over the years because their mothers and their grandmothers and their fathers, they've gotten older, right? So they're not hitting the highways as much. They're not getting the brothers who have done that much time weren't getting as many visits as they used to get. So for those who may not know, if there are no interaction with family members on the outside with those who are on the inside, the love somewhat waxes cold, right?
Yes.
Because it eliminates the warmth that would normally be in the interaction of your loved one. So if you're not getting any visits, it's not that you don't love or they don't love you, but the warmth in it sometimes it decreases. So I started the movement. They're gone, but we're going to make sure that they're never forgotten, right? So I started going around interviewing their family members, letting them tell the story, how they felt when they the loved one, their child or grandchild or husband or brother or nephew or uncle or whatever caught the charge. I just let them vent it out on Facebook Live, and I just interviewed them. That's how it started with Gone But Never Forgotten. And it started to rekindle the relationship between the family member and the incarcerated person that may have been down for 35 years.
Right. Wake your screen back up, Brother Kurt. You went out. Wake your phone screen back up.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, when your screen goes dark, it'll cut you off. So try to keep your screen.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it also started to reestablish hope in the brothers.
Right.
Revitalize their hope in them, man. So that's what so Gone But Never Forgotten was like the engine, that started the movement.
Right.
That we're fighting the fight that we're fighting now.
Right. And I'm sure brothers appreciate that, man, what you're doing on behalf of the Nation of Islam.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
You made me think of a scripture, man, that I have often used over the years to help brothers see themselves in the light of scripture and in prophecy in Isaiah 42 and 22. I know you're familiar with that, 22 to 24, where it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore." No one is interested in restoring us. They kind of just hide us away, and really, brother, in truth, almost just about forget about us. In time and circumstance
absolutely
separates many of these brothers from their families. Now that we got that out the way, brother,
absolutely.
We know what Love First Initiative and Reentry is, Gone But Not Forgotten. We know who Brother Kurt is. Brother Kurt, how and when were you introduced to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the minister in the Nation of Islam?
I was introduced in 1994. Right. Mm-hmm. And my brother, and this is it's the funny thing, man, because the brother that introduced me, he and I are still brothers today. But I was at the Pine Bluff unit, and I was into shooting the dice and the drinking the bootleg and the smoking the marijuana and just the foolishness that goes on in the institution. While you in there, you're young inside the institution and you're fresh down and really don't want to hear anything, man, but you're just trying to do the best that you can do to survive.
Right.
So my brother Brother Charles got introduced to the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the county jail. Right. So he and I met in 1992.
And this was in Little Rock?
Sir?
This was in Little Rock, right?
No, this was in the institution. This was at the Tucker unit.
Oh, okay, got you.
This was inside the institution. I came across the teachers inside the institution.
Okay, yeah, I know, but I thought it was I thought the institution was in Little Rock, but you said it's Tucker unit.
No, it's in Tucker. Yeah, Tucker, Arkansas.
Got you. Okay,
is where it's at. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So one day I was just shooting dice, man. Me and the brother had a real close relationship, and he had got some cassettes in. So at this time, it was the cassette tapes, right? So he had one of the officers had brought him some cassette tapes, and he had cassette tapes of the minister, right?
Right.
So he was trying to get me to listen to the cassette tape, and then I'm trying to shoot these dice. I ain't trying to hear no cassette tape, no preaching about nobody, and he wouldn't leave me alone. So I put the headphones on, and the minister went to speaking, right?
Right.
And brother, it stimulated me so much until I just wanted to know who is this man? You know what I'm saying? And what he was saying and how he was saying it, it gave me something. And when I look back now, Brother Shaheed, I realized it just revitalized me in a way that I didn't even know that I was dead or spiritually dead, right? Mm-hmm. And from that time on, I never stopped listening to the minister all the way up until this day. That's how because he used to try to give me books by the messenger and by the minister, but I never read them. But when I heard the man, that was a spark of life in me. And then, although it was not immediately that I started reading the books, I wanted to hear. I would listen to the tapes. Right. I would listen to him speak. Mm-hmm. And that's how I came in 19. 94, and I wrote my letter probably about 8 months after that, and never looked back, bro.
Man, that's this.
And that was almost 31 years ago.
Yes, sir. I had come in just the year before, brother, in 1993.
Praise
September.
be to Allah.
So, and in doing the prison reform, brother, share with the audience, brother, the quality of brothers that you have run across that are incarcerated. Because I think it's important that people know that. I have had a desire, which is one thing that I'm planning to do in North Mississippi, to have part of our program is where we take young men inside of the institution so they can get a firsthand look. But I've met some brilliant men. I met a brother who was a surgeon. I met a brother who was a diamond merchant. And listening at their stories, and everybody that's in prison ain't supposed to be there. But share with us, brother, some of the caliber of brothers that you've run across.
A lot of the brothers are, and I'll take his name is his Islamic name is Brother Jihad, but he went under Sherman Noble, and I started out with him in the county jail in 1992. He copped out for a life sentence on a Sunday, but after interviewing his mother, who was explaining how he was in college at the time he caught his charge. He was jacking, trying to steal a car or jack somebody for that car. And it was a lady, white lady, who had a BMW, and he was trying to jack her. Him and another one of his friends was trying to jack her for her car, and she rolled the window up, pulled off, and the gun went off and killed her. And
good God.
And the man was actually in college, doing well for himself, had children at the time, was a good role model as a father, and right today he cannot understand what he was trying to fit in with, man. But now he's down there, been down there for 32 years, and he's still going to college and teaching college courses. And it's just the guys who are old men now were good young men back then, and made mistakes and never got an opportunity to correct the mistakes that they made at 16 and 17 and 18 years old, right? So that's why it's so vital. And we're going to get into the Act 539 of 2017. That's why it's so vital. Now, those guys who were children being on life sentences and a gang of time now run the institution. Right. They run the therapeutic programs. They run their counselors. They're cooks and chefs in the kitchen. They sew the clothes, make the clothes in the garment factory and the laundry. They run the farm equipment for the farm. I mean, it's when you talk about when they say Commons Prison Farm, that is a real thing.
Yes, sir.
But you have those who are incarcerated who run it, who do all the farming. Who slaughter the animals, the cows and the pigs in the slaughterhouses, right?
Wow.
So I mean.
Oh, wake that screen back up again, brother.
My bad. But sorry, my bad. You have brothers down there right now who if they got out today, that they will be very successful, as successful as you and I, dear brother.
Yes,
because they've educated themselves, they've dried out, they become spiritual men, and they have the a lot of guys who are inside the institution. Their work ethics are just superior to a lot of guys that's out here. And I mean, that's not to slight the brothers who have never been in the institution, but the work ethics of a lot of dudes who's coming out of the institution who've been there for a while are it's just immaculate, man. So I've ran across some real beautiful brothers, and I left some real beautiful brothers down there that we're trying to fight to get them out now.
Right, and I certainly understand, but I've never been incarcerated myself. In my study of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the effect it has on those who are incarcerated versus those who are not, and to some degree it creates a sense of urgency to brothers, especially those who have been down for 10 years and over, because in my mind, and as I talk to several brothers, it creates a sense of urgency simply because they realize how much time they've lost. And they understand in a more I would say in a more practical sense, and from the incarceration experience, the importance of not wasting time. You see what I'm saying? And because they understand that, they move, they have a sense of urgency about them. Whereas those of us who have not, that's why I used to tell the brothers in prison, man, y'all feed me just as much, if not more, than I try to feed you with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because I'm seeing an experience that I don't have in a direct sense, but I'm in there with them on a regular, listening and watching how they move. And I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I see why when they get out, they're ready to move, brother, because, you know, they've lost so much time and they really don't have time for foolishness, you know, so they're ready to get it.
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
Yes, sir.
And that is the thing, Brother Shaheed. A lot of times, and it's kind of hard on my end because, you know, we have those who are inside that we're fighting to get out. And then a lot of the people have lost loved ones who would never get an opportunity to see them ever again. And when we're fighting for the brothers who've been down there 20, 30 years, and it become a complicated situation. But if we understand, when you go into that institution, and the first thing that you start doing is learning to dry out, right? You're in an environment to where you're not, you don't get an opportunity to smoke the marijuana or do the hard drugs all the time that you do. You might come across some of it every now and then, you know, even the type of hanging out all night and all the foolishness that we're able to get into prior to going is nipped in the bud when we're inside an institution. Yes, and you have a lot of time to think, study, reevaluate, find yourself, right? So those guys are totally different guys, but if you don't understand the system of change, then we'll be holding a man feet to the fire for his past dealings when he's a whole different individual. Right. And that's the reason that I cannot stop the fight, because I know who they were compared to who they are now is years gapped, it's just like 50, 60 years, you know, of distance, man. It saddens me that there's no standard set for rehabilitation.
Right. Yes, sir. I get it, brother. Yeah. Yes, sir. And, you know, man, it's like, particularly the black male, it's as though once we fall off the log, so to speak, there's no getting back on it. You know, it's like rehabilitation or being accepted and reacclimated into the society it's like, no, you messed up. You know, that's why they have this. You have to have ban the box campaigns because the brother can't get gainful employment, which dovetails into my next question, brother. What are some of the contributing factors, to recidivism, or our brothers and sisters or people in general getting out of prison and then turn around and going right back? You know, and they use the language career criminal, and I think that's to some degree unfair. But what are some of the contributing factors to recidivism?
And this is the truth that they won't tell. It's not those who go down and catch violent charges and do long sentences, right? The contributing factor to what we consider recidivism is those who are, a lot of those who are short timers, right? They go down for theft, they go down for high checks, they go down for little petty crimes, right? You know, because the 85% of those who are doing that are on some type of illegal substance. They're addicted to drugs, and they go in, they get out. They go in, they get out. They go in, they get out. But if you look at the recidivism rate for those who have done 15, 20, 25 years, the recidivism rate for those brothers and sisters are low, right? Okay. But the overall recidivism rate, and the reason it's so high is because of the petty crime, right? Those guys go down and they might do 2 years, they might do 6 months, they might do a 90-day probation, or whatever the case may be, but it shoots the recidivism rate up. So when those who are incarcerated on long sentences and they're trying to get out, they're looking at the recidivism rate, but the recidivism rate that applies really don't apply to those who are long time who have served long sentences. That's why out here now we got to make it known ourselves, right, in order to help those guys who were juveniles and are now old men. Right? Because if you just look at the recidivism rate, you'll think that it's those who are hardcore criminal that they will say who caught charges at a young age and they never been out.
Right.
But it's not that what's contributing to the high recidivism. I know in the state of Arkansas is short time, petty crime, that's going in, getting out, going in, and getting out, going in, and getting out, and keeping the rotation going.
Yes, sir. Well, brothers, we are 10 minutes from the top of the hour, and we'll take a break at 8 o'clock. But in the last 10 minutes before we get to the second half of the program, we got a few more questions for you. But we want to take this question into the break. What is this Act 539 of 2017, and why is it important to amend it?
Man, this is that is the Act 539 of 2017 is Fair Sentencing for Juvenile Act that they passed in 2017. And what it does, Brother Shaheed, it gives those brothers who were 17 and under who caught life and who had life and life without sentences an opportunity. If they had a life sentence, then if they've done 25 to 30 years, they're eligible to see the parole board. And if they had life without sentences, they got their sentence vacated and they had to go up and give them numbers, right? And they was the majority of them was ready to come home, you know. So to get to what we're trying to do now is get it amended from the age 17 to the age 21 and under, which means those guys who were, it would affect those who are 21 all the way till the age 14 or how young they were locked up. And a lot of those guys would immediately be ready for parole, or those who had life or sentence were immediately ready to go back to court to get the sentence vacated.
Right.
And that will give them, because a lot of guys who like I was saying about Sherman, and you got Sherman, you got Bobby, you just got a lot of guys, Corey. You just got a lot of guys in there who never got a second chance because they was children when they went in, and now they're old men, right?
Right.
So this Act 539, if we can get the age limit moved up, right? It's already a law.
Right.
All we need now is the age limit amended and get the age limit moved up to 21.
Okay.
Then a lot of the guys who are at that age will have an opportunity to come home as well. That's why it's very important. They're waiting there right at the door, right?
Right.
They're old men.
They already did.
40, 50 years old.
Right. Right. And
Yeah,
they've been down for 25
there,
years. Okay. Man, that is something.
Yes, sir.
We had I participated in a presentation that was done at a local church where they was talking about a juvenile lifer, and it ended up being one of the young brothers here in Memphis that was involved in a police car chase. And I remember clearly the officer who tragically lost his life was Officer Don Overton of the City of Memphis Police. And the young brothers were coming down Hollywood, I think it was, right there at Staten. I'll never forget it, man. And I think they T-boned the officer's car. The officer pulled from the stop sign. I guess he either misjudged or didn't see. You know, they were going so fast, they T-boned the officer, lost his life. And those young brothers got a life. One of them got a life sentence, man, you know. And I think he was like 17, between 16 and 18 when it happened. And I remember those brothers. I was working at the Shelby County Jail at the time that happened, and I remember them coming through the door. They look like little babies, man. And you know, of course, when we see that, we shake our head. You're like, man, he's just 18. You know, in the pretrial facility, that's just the beginning. You know, and then he has to go through all of that horror and all of that hell and drama. Yep. And then he gets sentenced, and then he has to go to where, and then he has to find his way. And, you know, he's just 17. He's just 18.
Yes, sir.
And that's really something. So, yeah, brother, I see the importance of that act. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get one more question in, as we got about 6 minutes left before the top of the hour. Because I'm coming outside of the prison now, and I started it with Act 539, and I'm going to get in some things that hopefully you can help shed a little light on, brother, for those that are out in the community. You know, you see the surge in gun violence, brother, particularly in America in general, with regard to mass shootings and that kind of thing, but particularly in black communities, the infanticide, the conflict between young men and young women even, from domestic, and a lot of instances, these people know one another. They're not strangers. You know, they're people they grew up together in the same neighborhood, and they have a disagreement. And whereas back in the day, man, you know, you went over by the monkey bars on the basketball court somewhere, you threw fists, you bloodied a nose, or whatever, man, and that was the end of it. But nowadays, you see it boils over into gun violence. And what is your take, brother? What do you see in terms of how local government where you live is responding to it? Because I'm seeing some responses that we should be concerned about, not saying that their response is inappropriate, but it's how should we respond to it. But how do you see local governments responding to the surging gun violence where you live in black communities, brother?
I was invited to a meeting, and it was some pastors, some ministers, some grassroots organizations, and the police chief, right?
Right.
And their fix was we need to be, we need to lock everybody up there, because there's a small mass of people who's doing it, who's inciting the shootings, whatever the case may be. So their plan is to lock all the young people up, right? Mm-hmm. That's doing the violence, right? Mm-hmm. I told them this: it's not going to stop it, because it's a cycle, right? That you have to stop the cycle, right? And what is causing the cycle of our children, and they're getting younger and younger and younger.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I told them the only way for us to stop the cycle of gun violence that's taking place amongst our young people today is we're going to have to first, because Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the woman is the first teacher, she's the first nurse, she's the first everything, right?
That's right.
And a nation rise no higher than its woman. But if you look at how the women are being mistreated while they're carrying the child, right? And the brain is the first thing that's developed inside the womb.
That's right.
Of the woman, right? Mm-hmm. So everything that she goes through. And just think about our young babies, because me and Charles, we on the final call, so I come through Memphis all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just looking at our babies, how they dressed, how they hanging out all at night, right? Everything that they're going through is being programmed into the brain of that child, right? How the little boyfriend is treating them, right? How the old man is treating them. It's all being programmed inside the brain of the child while she's carrying him. So she's reproducing hate, anger, and pain.
That's right. That's a fact.
So you're not going to stop the cycle of violence until we start handling our young women who's able to produce children different. Because we can lock them all up, Brother Saheed, right? And the ones who are 9, 10, and 11, in 3 or 4 years be 15, 16, and 17, and it just keeps the cycle going until we start to treat the woman, handle the woman properly. We're going to keep reproducing pain.
That's right.
Hate, jealousy,
right?
Envy, anger, in the form of our babies, man. They're going to continue. When they look at each other, that's what they see. Black women hate black men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because of how we handling them.
Right. All right.
Because how their little boyfriends handle them, how the old man preyed on them. They really hate us. Yeah. So when the baby come out, he look at another black man from the same way his mother feels, and she's programmed him to feel. That's how he valued the life that he's looking at.
Yes, sir.
And so I just feel like, brother, until they want to lock everybody up, you can lock everybody up. It's just the cycle just gonna keep going until we start dealing with the woman the appropriate way, because she's the nation would rise no higher than the woman.
Yes, sir. And brother, you answered the other question that I had in the wings, because our response to what we're going through is two-pronged at the very least. There are two major prongs. Yes, sir. Because what's happening in our communities, brother, and say, for instance, there's in the recent years, we've seen a surge in Gestapo-type police tactics, particularly in small southern communities. Our program for the past several weeks has been on what's happening in Senatobia, Mississippi. They got a heck of a police chief down there, man, that's literally a tyrant. This dude is really something. And I'm starting to really look at it, from many angles. And yes, we need to deal with these rogue police officers and rogue sheriffs, and not just them. You got rogue judges, you got rogue prosecutors, you got rogue coroners and district attorneys. That it's a whole network of them. But see, brother, the black community is like stuck between dealing with rogue local government or local government that's totally indifferent to the plight of black people versus a community full of children running amok.
Yes.
Well, they can't handle the children. Our people, our elders, we failed them. So to some degree, we're willing to abide these kinds of rogue local police precincts and sheriffs and officers and judges and whatnot because we can't handle our children. So this is why self-improvement is so important. The program or the 21 study guide, study curriculum of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brothers and sisters that are listening, when you look at us in the Nation of Islam and the product that you see in terms of brothers and sisters that strive hard to practice it, this didn't happen in a vacuum. We in Holly Springs, every Friday night, we convene via Zoom and in person a lot of times because we are a commuter study group. And the public is welcome to come on and study what it is that we're studying that's causing us to make an assessment of self and engage in introspection, looking within at what's wrong with self and striving to improve self. Because, see, if we stop and begin to deal with what's got our community sick, we know what it is, we can debate over it, then we will not be able to deal with the forces that's coming inside of our community and making misery even worse. It's kind of like a tree, brother. A tree grow upwards as well as downwards. But that I ain't gonna go through all that. That's gonna be part of a lecture that I plan to do, inshallah, this Sunday. But self-improvement is the basis for developing our community. You are so right, brother. The way we treat our women, and I can tell you personally, brother, with what I do for a living, the black female is the most disrespected, hated, and mistreated human being on the face of this earth, brother. It is absolutely. It is a hell of a thing the way black women are treated and how they are unprotected. So, and I know how I feel about the women in my household, brother. And I'm gonna leave that right there because I don't want to get all uptight. But brother Kirk, man, we're at the top of the hour, man. We're gonna take a quick break, brother, and we're gonna come right back. So everybody stand by. We will be right back.
Slowly. There's something that we as black people must do to affect that kind of change. But if our people are jobless and in gangs and are the number one killers of themselves, then how can anyone looking at that picture see us as their equal? So there's an awful lot of work for black leaders, black preachers, black teachers, black organizations to do to lift our people up out of the quagmire that they are in. And that is not on Barack Obama. He has the cross of America to bear, but the raising of our people is still our job to do.
Man, you can tell by the news, we gon' always lose. It's white people's fault. Nah, better yet, Jews. I was a confused and abused child. Mama made my views foul. Damn, Obama, what excuses I'ma use now? My pops wasn't there. Nah, I can't use that. Now they can trace my dirt all the way back to where I choose at. Who's that? Peeking in my window, bro. Damn, the whole wide world, I can't pretend no more that I'm just a lost sheep who don't give a full letter. Now the cost deep, I gotta reap what I sow because I know better. Can't never put that genie back in the bottle, cause now we got a real life black family role model sitting in that house that slavery built. Shit might have gave y'all hope, but it gave me guilt. And I bet you a black neighborhood thug feel the same thing. They pulling the plug on the blame game. It's on us now. We must
accept responsibility to build our community. We don't have a community right now. And so
What's your source for truth in news reporting?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoot. No shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your number one free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
Shake's famous seasonings, flavors for every occasion. Want to add a touch of authentic flavor to any dish? Searching for a unique range of seasonings that always put great taste on the menu? Welcome to Shake's Famous Seasonings. Whether you're a professional chef, passionate home cook, or a complete beginner in the kitchen, taste and flavor should always be on the menu. It's why Master Chef Rashid Muhammad has combined more than 30 years in the kitchen with a passion for mouth-watering flavors to create a range of seasonings unlike any other. Always gluten-free, so you can enjoy great taste exactly how nature intended. Versatile flavors that work with fresh fish, chicken, or vegetables from the very first bite. Authentic cooking experience that adds something special to any occasion. Versatile seasonings that are perfect for baking, frying, grilling, and plenty of tasting. Ready for real, authentic flavor? When it's time to see just how delicious seasoned foods can be, why wait? With the click of a button, you can have 30 years of passion for food sent direct to your door. Just what you need to add flavors to every occasion and create meals that you'll always want to eat twice.
Place your order at sfseasonings.com. That's sfseasonings.com.
Taste the difference. Taste supreme.
Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme Spring Water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water. 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, and we are back live here at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. I am your brother and host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad, and we still have here on the line our brother of the Nation of Islam's Prison Reform Ministry working out of Little Rock, Arkansas, our brother Kirk Muhammad. He is the organizer, and I would say the CEO of Love First Initiative and Reentry. You still there, Brother Kirk? Uh-oh. Don't tell me I done lost you, Brother Kirk. Turn your screen back on. I see you still on the dashboard, my brother. You there? Okay, until we can get my brother back on, We're gonna
Can you
move.
hear me there, brother?
Okay, there he is. Okay, I got you loud and clear. When that screen goes dark, brother, that bad boy, it'll cut your audio off. That's one of the, I guess, the glitches they need to work out in their platform, or just keep your phone screen perpetually lit. I think there's a function on these smartphones where you can do that. Okay, so brother Kirk, man, we're in the second half of this. I just got about 3 more questions for you, man, and we're going to let you go, and we're going to get in a couple of things. We're going to do a cultural segment tonight. I always try to get some inspirational music to add rhythm to the struggle, man. We don't have to always be doom and gloom and bad about it. You know, we have to laugh sometimes, brother, because if you don't laugh, man, this stuff will make you cry, brother. You know, like Mob used to say, make me want to holler, throw up both my hands, man.
Yes, sir.
So, brother, look, we talked about the surge in gun violence and how you see local governments responding. One of the things, brother, is some of these departments, man, are starting to look at getting high caliber weapons, getting more military grade weapons. It's going on because, see, these young brothers got these military style rifles they're killing each other with and what they call switches. What message would you give our young men and women who are on that kind of path that could land them in prison or maybe in the grave in the coming months of their lives, or even weeks, maybe even tomorrow, God forbid? What message would you give them?
I was having a conversation with my wife about our young people not understanding the consequences behind committing the act, right? They know that if I commit this act, there's a possibility I'm going to prison.
Right.
But if they understood the consequences of being in prison, right, then that may deter them, or give them the opportunity to think about what they're going to do before they do it. Because once you inside that institution, I would teach them what is going on inside the institution,
right, that
you miss, right? Just the ability to go outside, you know, and get a fresh breeze when you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the maximum security unit, just a simple thing is going outside and walking in the grass. You know, getting up in the middle of the night, going outside and looking up in the sky at the stars.
Man, just a mental effect
that we don't realize how important they are until we don't have the ability to do it. Right? So what they need to understand is okay, you hardcore, you catch this charge, right? I mean, you can go. It's easy for you because you're numb. It's easy for you because you the way you've been developed in the womb, right? For you to pull the trigger and kill this other man. But when you go down and you lose all your momentum, right, and you lose your abilities to just be normal. You lose your abilities to eat what you want to eat, to wear what you want to wear, to sleep where you want to sleep. You lose the ability to even turn off the lights at night when you're incarcerated.
Yes,
you have to sleep with the lights on. So I would teach them about ain't nothing I can tell them that will stop them from doing what they desire to do. But what I want to do is give you a glimpse inside of after you do what you do, the consequences behind doing what you do. You need to understand the consequences.
Right.
The consequences, because they're so numb, brother. It's not ain't nothing we can tell them about. Man, you killing this man. They don't value life like that.
Right.
But they value their momentum. They value their mobility. Right. Yes, they value the food that they eat, the clothes that they wear. They value that stuff.
Right. They do.
But they need to understand when you commit this act, all of that, you need to understand all of that go away.
Yes, sir.
Right. And once they get the feeling, they start thinking about losing everything, they don't think about losing nothing but their freedom, man. The stuff that go along with the freedom, they don't even think about that because they've never been in a position to lose it.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I would talk to them about.
Yes,
I would
sir.
talk to them about the consequences of committing the act.
Yes, sir. And that's very important too, man, because, you know, I've seen it. You know, I have a unique experience in that I'm in law enforcement, yet in prison reform ministry, and most people think those are some strange bedfellows, and they are. But the uniqueness of it, brother, is, you know, seeing the process of how our young men and women are dealt with, you know, and then going among them, trying to warn them, look, brother, this is what's coming. I'm telling you straight, no chaser,
Yes,
no sugar, no cream. This is what's coming. You keep this up, brother, you know. And then after they don't listen, I get to go. And I've seen brothers that I have warned. I've had the blessing. I don't want to sound like no. I shouldn't say that I've warned. I should say that I've given a message from the warner, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of what is going to happen to you, young brother. And I see their faces, and they almost, brother, they try to hide, you know. And some of them have come and said, man, Muhammad, man, I see what you were saying, which is to say they didn't see it while they were on. So you're exactly right, brother. So another question, brother, is this. Why is it important that families who have loved ones in prison, in our community in particular, and in general, of course, how important is it for them to maintain contact with loved ones that are in prison, or even just adopt a prisoner to keep in touch with them? Why is it important for our community to do that? Oh, your light then went out again. I can't hear you. Relight your phone light, Brother Kirk, so I can hear you. Uh-oh. Still can't hear you, brother. I hope I hadn't lost you. I still see you on the dashboard, so you're still connected. Just need to get your audio coming through. Brother told me he had to do something that he didn't anticipate, but he said he was going to work around it. So we're going to keep moving. Hopefully our brother come back on. I see you on the dashboard, Brother Kirk. Did you mistakenly mute your phone? Because he was there he is. Okay. He must have had to step away for a second. Brothers and sisters, be patient with our brother. We certainly appreciate him. I like to applaud him. He's taking time out.
Okay, my brother. Okay, I'm back, Brother Shay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I know where you're at, brother. Okay. I anticipate. I said he probably had to step away. Just bear with our brother. Sir. So take care of your business, man. Yes, no problem. I thank you for coming on.
I'm here.
Yes, sir. Did you hear the question?
Can you rephrase the question? We can ask questions again?
Yes, sir. How important, or why is it important that families who have loved ones in prison, in the black community in particular, of course in general, to maintain contact with their loved one, or if they don't have a loved one, adopt somebody that's in prison and keep in touch with them? Why is that important?
Absolutely, because of the humanity. When you're in prison, you're in what it's an uncivilized environment, right? Mm-hmm. It takes the human nature. It takes a man who's civilized and cause him to develop what we call a second nature in order to function out of, because you don't get to be a man inside the institution, right? So if a man who's inside the institution lose contact with the outside world, then he becomes mentally impaired, right? You start to his whole reality become fantasy from books, from movies, from the things that he started to desire that may not even be real. This is real, and this is real talk. But when you have family who coming in and out, and they keep you rooted to reality, they keep you rooted to what's going on in the outside, and they keep the love that's in you warm, and then they also keep hope alive. Mm-hmm. Because guys who don't get family members, they start to settle in to their second nature, and some of them become homosexuals, some of them become addicted to drugs, some of them give up hope of ever getting out. Right. So if the family members disconnect, or the guy who don't get any interaction from the outside world, he starts to lose his whole self inside that environment, because the institution is a world within a world, right?
Yes, right.
But it's just not a norm. The normalcy that goes along with being on the outside, you don't have it on the inside, because you're around men 24/7.
Yeah.
You're being told what to do, how to do it, what to think, how to think. And if that is not interrupted, man, if you ever get out, then you'll be institutionalized to the point to where you can't really adjust on the outside, and then always desire to go back.
Wow. And I've actually seen that, brother. I mean, it's not a pretty sight, brothers and sisters, because ultimately many of the incarcerated are going to get out. And this world and this society, this corporate economic social construct, each of them dictate where these brothers and sisters can live. And because they do, ultimately, they're going to mostly live in black communities. They're going to live amongst black people. And if the love is gone and they have been totally dehumanized, they become a contributor. By circumstances, they will become a contributor to the chaos that's, raging in our community. So this is why, Brother Kirk, one of the reasons I try to make this a well-rounded podcast, brother, to have brothers like yourself come on and give information. And hopefully those who listen will take away an understanding whereby we see the importance of not only of what you're doing, what many others are doing, and the fights on the many different fronts that are being waged by brothers and sisters. And they should know that somebody's watching, somebody's paying attention, and it encourage brothers like you to continue. Because, this dovetails into a question that's kind of personal, but I hope you can answer it. What toll does this take on you, Brother Kirk? How are you faring in, drudging the path that's, not often trod? It's not trod by many. What is the toll on you, brother?
Bruh, that's a good question, brother.
I know.
Because when I tell you that people think that fighting for those who are incarcerated is you get the shine, you get the spotlight, you get the criticism, right? You get the dead weight of the people who have given up hope on seeing their loved ones get out. And then you're trying to prove to someone who just watched on TV somebody get murdered or robbed or raped that somebody who's committed this crime in this institution is ready to come home. Mm-hmm. So it's like with all the violence that's taking place out here, trying to fight for somebody who has a violent charge to get out is exhausting, right? Trying to get people to support, financially support the cause is exhausting, and it does take a mental burden on you sometimes to the point to where you be depressed, man. You be exhausted. Yeah. But if you get the momentum and you lay down for a week, then you lost all the momentum.
You gotta build it again.
So you can't stop.
It's the uphill road, brother.
Man, you got to keep it going. Yeah. And even if you're sick and you're tired and you're wore out, you got to keep it going.
Yeah.
But I'm blessed. I'm blessed, Brother Shaheed, with a team.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I got Valerie. I got Miss Martha Cooksey. I got Benjamin William. I got Michael Lee. I got a gang of people on my team, man.
Yes, sir.
Gang of people.
Man, that's great. That's
Yes,
great.
man.
Yeah, brother. So this is the last question, man, and I'm going to let you go. We're going to get to our cultural segment. How can, and the work that you are doing, man, we appreciate it on behalf of the Nation of Islam's Prison Reform Ministry and those who are being positively affected by your work, brother. How can people get involved in the Nation of Islam's Prison Reform Ministry and aid and assist in what you're doing?
They can, brother, can you hear me what I say?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
They can anything they can go on, find me on Facebook, find me in my group, go over there for guiding. They can get my number. I can give them my number right now to where they can call me personally. You know what I'm saying? They can email me.
Yes, sir.
But the best way is to go to Kurt Muhammad and friend me on Facebook, because a lot of the stuff we do is on social media.
Yes, sir.
Praise
the Lord. Hey, if you want to give your email and your phone, man, go right ahead as we close.
Yes, sir. My email is, you can go to Kurt, KURT.Muhammad, MUHAMMAD @yahoo.com, or you can call me personally at 870-575-2045.
Praise be to Allah. Well, Brother Kirk, man, now we're going to put a pin in it, man. I'm going to get this cultural segment done, and then we're going to land this plane. Brother, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to be our guest. God willing, brother, we will bring you back sometime in the future. And stay on the path, brother. May God continue to strengthen you, keep all of us humble, keep us prayerful, and keep us connected to the source of strength, which is Almighty God, Allah himself. So, brother, once again, thank you. May Allah bless you. Please give your family our love and greetings. And inshallah, we'll be talking again soon. All right?
Thank you, my dear brother.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, there you have it, brothers and sisters. Yes, that was our brother Kirk Muhammad. We're going to shift gears. We're going to get into a cultural segment. We got a little music. There's rhythm to the truth. There's rhythm to the struggle. And I want to share one with you from my brother Hashim Hakeem. He calls this one, Who You With? So we want to know tonight, who you with?
The person who's being attacked has the right to use that degree of force consonant with the force that is coming against him or her to repel that force. If it is deadly force, we are allowed to respond with deadly force. This is not man talking. This is what God has said. We're not going to go out and do something stupid. I didn't give the order yet.
Look, now what you gonna do when they come for you? Probably slump you when you comfortable. Put your ass in the box just like a Lunchable. Yeah, you trash and whatnot. Rummage, we dumping you. You can't run till we done with you. But you still want your mama, boy. You don't want no drama, boy. Better point like a comma, boy. Nightmares like Jeffrey Dahmer, boy. Used to tote in that llama, boy. Better learn you a kata, boy. All that bark with no bite. All that talk with no fight. They'll run up on you while you in the park with your wife. What you gonna do, please? Whatever you need, I got it. Honey, reach in my back pocket and hand in my wallet. That's the softest, regardless how you a man. If your wife wasn't there, you probably would've ran. Hit the gym, my friend. Get your weight up. Sensei to Shihan. No knee highs, no makeup.
Attention, who you with? BSK. We've been training all day. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye. BSK. Attention, who you with? BSK. All work, no play. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye.
I didn't give you order.
The wordsmith is working like a Smith & Wesson. Justice, ninja stars be the weapon. I spar with martial law and king. Got a Tekken, came to bring Armageddon since I seen adolescence. Body wasn't Raleigh, mine wasn't Thailand. Knew my future infinite, looking in my clan. Grew up reading Bibles and listening to Rakim and Raekwon and I said, hold, CNN, see a pen and grab it and I'm showing you grenades. Breathe with me and inspire with the exothermic aid. Please lift me, they blow great clouds, I levitate. Blowing trees with my mind while staring at heaven's gates. Man, jury ain't candidates, ain't even fit for arrival. Politicking with thugs and throwing slugs for survival. Now I'm training with Morpheus, teaching them how to dodge them. Cracking vases and porcelain, warming up for a challenge. Taking over the orphanage, getting ready for battle. In the shot like I'm Bastro, training with Grandmaster.
Attention, who you with? BSK. We've been training all day. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye. BSK. Attention, who you with? BSK. All work, no play. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye. BSK. Yo, step your game up or get banged up. Everybody in my cipher is fit, trained up. To the party from the diapers, they will get waged up. Vipers get sniped, tripes get blazed up. It's on. Got GM on the phone with the high scale tone. Drama at the dome. The visitors inhibit the red zone. No solicitors, no prisoners, dead zone. Chief the coach, Supreme QB, double reverse the GM, hands off to me. General order number 9 is the course for me. Street doctor, done doctor, no remorse for me. We are never the aggressor. Taught by professor, trained by a doctor, grandmaster, the successor. Watch your blood pressure, we will stop whoever. BSK forever now, all in together now. Who you with? BSK. We've been training all day. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye. BSK. Attention. Who you with? BSK. All work, no play. BSK. Don't die, we multiply. BSK. Watch your back eye to eye. BSK.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, that was our brother Hashim Hakeem and Who You With. Brothers and sisters, we certainly thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's episode of the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. It is our humble prayer that something was said and shared to you from us that will benefit us in our spiritual growth and development, to give guidance and as an information source that we may apply the information that we've received in our daily goings on. Always remember, from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he said these words, quote, "No one can attempt to help our people do anything productive and constructive without feeling personal hurt, pain, loss, being evil spoken of, falsely accused, sometimes beaten, sent to prison, or even put to death. This is the path of Jesus. This is the path of Muhammad. And this is the path of every sincere person who wants to see his or her people delivered from our present condition." End quote. Please join us in Holly Springs, our meetings throughout the week. We have our men's only class every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. We have our Wednesday night study classes. Contact me. You can call us at 662-252-8999 for more information, as well as our Friday night classes. Give us a call at the same number. Both classes begin at 7:30 Wednesdays as well as Fridays. Of course, our women have a women-only class. We can't have a men's-only class and not have a women's-only class. That's every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It takes place at 873 Vance Avenue here in the city of Memphis. Our men's class takes place at 165 North Memphis Street in Holly Springs. And, of course, every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock a.m., join us for our Sunday service. Takes place at 165 North Memphis Street in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Doors open at 9:30. We begin promptly 10 o'clock a.m. Join us this Sunday. I'd be honored if you would come and be our guest. Yours truly will be attempting to share a message from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad entitled Heaven and Earth Part 2. Always remember, brothers and sisters, self-improvement is the basis for community development. And until next week, we'll see you and we'll leave as we came before you with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Let's go. Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punchbowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip. Injustice we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. MK fearless. Mississippi. MK fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip. MK fearless. Mississippi, 10,000 fearless on the